I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone, worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness, one mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got locked, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grindin'.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the upcoming fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia. The question we're asking is, does Danny Garcia deserve full credit if he beats Errol Spence Jr.? And I'm sending this one to G first.
All right, so should he get full credit? Yes. Is he? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be real. It's almost similar to the TC Kell Brooks situation, where it's like, you know, TC's in a lose-lose situation, whether he loses or wins against Kell Brooks, because they're like, yo, he's damn as good. They're going to do the same thing with Errol Spence. They're going to be like, I mean, you know, you lost, you know, to Errol Spence, whatever, we're expecting you to lose. Or it goes, I mean, you only won because of that car accident. You know, so it's like, it's unfair. But if I was Danny and his pops, I wouldn't even care about what people say. It's like, yo, that's Errol Spence on your resume. It doesn't matter. You know, like, people going to forget in a couple months anyways. Just use Errol Spence as a stepping stone to either get the TC fight or whoever else, you know? So that's what's important. So the internet's the internet, man. Like, the internet's undefeated for a reason. They're going to find a way to hate. So just ignore the haters, man. Just keep going, because it's not his fault that Earl's saying he's 100%. He's willing to fight in that ring. You know, if you get in that ring, no excuses, man. Win, lose, or draw. You know, we don't care. Everyone goes into that ring with some type of injuries and ailments or whatever. You know what I mean? So no one's ever really 100% in the ring. So if Earl's saying, yo, he's good, I have to take him at his word. And only time will tell, man. I don't know if he can actually take punches like he used to. We don't know. But we're going to find out next weekend.
Bill.
Did Danny Garcia get credit? Danny Garcia is one of these fighters I was just talking about. There's fighters, right? There's fighters, okay, that get all the love and they don't do nothing, right? Then you get fighters who do fight people and they just don't get the love. Some people just don't get the love. You know what I'm saying? People just don't get the fanfare. There's the Andre Wards. There's a lot of people just don't get the fanfare. And you wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Danny is never going to get credit. You know why? Because I was one of the guys that never gave Danny credit. You know, there was a guy that I liked. His name was Mighty. I'm not going to go into it, but it was Mighty Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Mike Arnettis, right? I liked the guy. Danny beat him, right? Then there was another guy, Hall of Famer, liked the guy, Nate Campbell. If y'all don't remember Nate Campbell was a champion, three-time champion. Nate Campbell was the man, had the hands. The only bad thing Nate Campbell ever did was showboat. I need to go and Google. I know Nate Campbell is watching this probably right now like Trill had to bring it up. Off of somebody. Put his hands down and got in the dude's face and the guy KO'd him. Y'all got to go look that up on YouTube. But Danny beat him. Danny was coming to enough. They were saying, put him in there with Morales. Everybody know Errol Morales my guy. Everybody know Errol Morales was my guy. You know what I'm saying? The Errol Morales and Barrera, when they went at it, I used to lose my mind. This is Errol Morales, the reason why I like the little guys. You know what I'm saying? Errol Morales he'll hook off on you at a press conference. He don't even care, you know? But he beat him. Then he fought him again when Errol Morales was on roids. The world knew Errol Morales was on roids. You know what I'm saying? And then he spun him around and beat him. He was considered the legend killer. I got to the point where I started seeing him put him in there with other guys, Peterson, Martise, everybody, right? It got to the point where I hit up Caden and I said, yo, do they not like this kid? Because I seen like they kept putting him in there like he was in a position to lose. It was fight after fight after fight after fight. He was fighting somebody. So for the nerve for people to call him a cherry picker is crazy to me. because this guy was fighting everybody. I'm talking Marcus Herrera. I'm talking about real fighters. And they never gave him the credit. Mind you, I'm not on the Danny Garcia bandwagon. Not my favorite welterweight. My favorite welterweight got 5 losses. You know what I'm saying? I dig Danny because Danny's a hard fighter. I only seen him, if anything, I thought he beat Sean. And that loss with Thurman, I thought that was a draw. I believe that nobody deserved to walk away with a belt. I think that everybody should have went home and they should have did it again. Danny still is not gonna get credit. Like it's the weirdest thing, right? Like it's like I don't even mean to get into it this deep, but I hate how we pick and choose. Like we pick and choose. Let's just be real. Like let's just be real for once. I get it. We got people that we like. You know what I'm saying? But Danny will probably beat the guy that I like at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? You got to give credit where credit is due. Everybody that they put in front of him, he beat. If it was anybody else, y'all would say the same thing that I said. Everybody he puts in front of him, he beats. He beat the Ghost Guerrero. Nobody washes the Ghost Guerrero, yo. Nobody was jumping in the ring, was wanting to go in there and fight Robert Guerrero. Nobody was trying to go in there and fight him. Nobody was rushing in there to go fight him. Nobody was rushing in there to go fight Martise. He's beating the guys that you put in front of him every single time. Except for the Sean Porter fight, which he was landing clean, effective shots. That's the person you go with.
42% of his power punches. He landed 42% of his power punches.
Then that means he won the fight. Let's stop playing. I don't know. What is it? Because he's light skinned or something like this? I don't get it. Here, I know it's real. Like it seems like people like if you're black, right? You have to go for the darker fighter, right? And if you like, I don't think just give people their credit. I don't like because he don't look the part. Like he don't look like the guy that you want to win. Then you gotta give him credit. You got to give a kid credit. If he beats Errol, you have to give him credit. Because Errol said that he wanted to fight the best, and that was Danny Garcia. He knows who Danny Garcia is. Errol tells y'all all the time. Yo, if y'all want to say Errol's number one, well, listen to Errol then. Because Errol says, listen to Derrick James and Errol, they don't think that Danny's ever lost. Listen to Derrick James. Did y'all watch that little special they had? They don't think Danny has ever lost. They know what they're getting in the ring with. But everybody sitting on their couch that's not getting in the ring with has the nerve to want to talk bad about this young man. Like, come on, man. Like, let's just be real for once. Like, let's just be real. Like, let's take the fanboy out of it. We got the people that we like, but come on, you got to give him credit. He stints in that fight. This kid has been fighting for his whole life. His family came from, they're poor. They was sleeping in cars to go to tournaments. They slept in cars. Everybody was getting hotel rooms. They were sitting in cars, freezing, him and his dad. He wasn't just given these opportunities. He fought in every fight. They were putting Danny in these fights to lose. I was mad at Al. I told Kane, I said, I don't think Al likes him. They're praising Al, but I don't think Al likes him. Silka. That's what I'll give y'all. You know what I'm saying? But give Danny, come on, man. Like, come on, let's just take the hate out your heart, man. I'm not saying that he's better than this guy, he's better than this guy, but you got to give Danny his credit, yo. You got to give him his credit. Take your favorite welterweight and put his resume up against a Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia got the best resume in boxing other than Canelo.
I got a question. What's the betting odds for this fight?
I haven't checked it.
I haven't checked it either, but I know they need to put some respect on Danny's name, and if he wins, he deserves full credit. Because Earl knows what he's getting into.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. Yo, man, I've been on Twitter. I've been on YouTube. People that know boxing are showing Danny a lot of love, bro. A lot of channels is like, yo, this is a real fight. You
This
know
is
what I
a
mean?
real fight.
Yo, because if you really watch boxing, you really never see even if you thought Danny might have, Danny's always been in close fights. No one's ever watched Danny Garcia,
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. I don't think he's getting hate. I think a
No,
lot
he's
of people
getting.
like,
Listen,
He's getting hate, bro.
You check out these comment sections. You look. I see. Look, you say all. I hear what you're saying, G. You saying like, oh, you see a couple of people stepping out saying it's a good fight. After you hear them, go look in that comment section.
Yeah.
What Trill saying? People who know boxing and people who understand, and they don't have like the fanboy in them. They're just looking at it. And
They know what it is.
They're gonna give Danny his props. But there's a certain group of people that just hate Danny, don't want to give him respect.
No matter what it is.
Want to downplay everything he's accomplished.
When there was a boogeyman. There was a boogeyman named Martise. He was a boogeyman. Danny took out the boogeyman. I remember when he took out the boogeyman and he looked at his dad. He said, what round you say, Dad? What round did you say? And it was the round that his dad said it. He looked his dad right in the eyes. He said, I love you. The odds always been on Danny. The odds has always been against Danny. And that boy keeps fighting. Yo, it's hard not to like him. I started off not liking him. Because he was beating my legends. How you gonna spin Morales around like that?
A tornado, son.
You know what I'm saying? You gonna spin Morales, the great Errol Morales?
That's
The
why
first one to show you the blueprint on how to beat Pacquiao?
that's why Complex don't like Danny because he did
Amir Khan greasy. And that was another one. That was when Amir Khan was Amir Khan. Before he was a Khan.
Khan got knocked out by Prescott first.
Yeah, Prescott.
And then he
rejuvenated his career.
String together some impressive wins, and everyone was like, "Yo, Khan's this dude." They threw Danny in to lose to Amir Khan. Remember, Amir Khan was the favorite, and then Danny became the lineal 140-pound champion.
Listen, I get it, man. Maybe y'all don't like him or something. Maybe his fade's too tight. You know what I'm saying? You don't like his fade or whatever. I don't know, man. But as far as fighting and in the boxing ring goes, you got to give Danny his props, yo. You got to give Danny his props. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, shout outs to TC, man. Even TC gave Danny. They were talking, but then he was like, nah, TC's ill. I mean, he's like, Danny's ill. He said, they ain't gonna walk through Danny. He said, me and Danny got one apiece. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he respects Danny. You know what I'm saying? Every welterweight respects Danny, except for one who got the his hematoma on his face. He's the only one that has something bad to say, and he's the only one that walked out of there with a hematoma. You got the decision, Sean, but you lost. You lost. Everybody else gives Danny nothing but props, respect. Even Keith Thurman give Danny nothing but props and respect. Floyd Mayweather gave Danny nothing but props and respect. Manny Pacquiao. These are guys. These are fighters. Forget it. I'm just done. But Danny needs to be given some respect. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on Danny's name. He's been out here. He's entertained and took some lumps and bruises and went in here and fought. Never backed down from nothing. Went out there and fought everybody that they put in front of him and didn't get washed, showed our heart. Put some respect on his name, man. Stop being so like, come on, it's cool to be a fan, but then y'all start to become disgusting people. Y'all don't want to be disgusting people. You know what I'm saying? You get back what you put out. You show love, you get hugs. You show hate, you catch slugs. You niggas say, you see what happened to Du Bois' eye. You know what I'm saying?
You see what happened to the boy's eye.
You can give somebody some just due. I'm not saying that you have to be a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy for Danny. I have my concerns about this fight. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about another time. But I have my concerns for Danny. I have one thing that's been on my mind about Danny. Well, two things about this fight for Danny. And then, but other than that, yeah, he should be given, hell yeah, he should be given credit. This is Errol Spence. This is still Errol. You know what I'm saying? This is Errol Spence. And Errol knows what it is. He wouldn't have stepped back in there if he felt something up. And Derrick James, the love that he has for him, he wouldn't put Errol in that position.
All right, Ned.
Sorry for my rant, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that was a mouthful, but yo,
off.
props to you, man. Yo, that's your passion, yo. You speak for the fighters you love.
Now, I just speak for the fighters in general, not the ones that I love.
Yeah, I hear
guys,
that.
like you have to put respect. I could, if somebody was not putting the work that Danny Garcia put in, I wouldn't be talking like this.
Gotcha.
Danny done put in the work, put some respect on his name. Like how they talk about him is really disrespectful. The things that I see, the Cherry Garcias and the memes and all that, he don't deserve that.
Yeah, that's big facts. I'm noticing that. The one thing I do notice, they keep calling him a cherry picker.
He don't deserve that. He don't deserve
How
that.
you a cherry picker when you fought Sean Thurman? You about to fight Errol
Spence,
you fought Ed Khan. You fought Lucas Matisse. You fought Lamont Peterson. You fought Zab Judah. You fought Eric Morales. How are you a cherry picker, dog? Yo, all those dudes I named.
I see you purposely left out Nate Campbell too. Don't leave out Nate Campbell.
Nate Campbell, Torrey Holt. Those are some of the good gatekeepers. Those are some of the good, solid gatekeepers of the world. He even had them on his resume.
Yeah. I just don't like give credit when credit is due, man.
That's a cherry picker. Show me someone who's fought better competition.
I'm from a different. That's how I look at it, Ned. I didn't even mean to cut it. I look at it like this, man. We don't see too many people. We don't lost too many people. We on this panel, we don't lost people, right? I'm all about giving them their flowers now while they're alive. You know what I'm saying? Let's not wait till something terrible happens, and then we're gonna be like, oh, and Danny did this, and Danny did that, and you know what I'm saying? Let's give them their flowers while they still here. Like, what's wrong with that, yo? Like, yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
But yeah, only way Danny does, unless Danny beats Errol in conventional fashion, like Errol comes back, he's in great shape, he's in tip-top boxing form, and Danny beats him. I think the world will give him boxing world will give him all the credit he deserves for that fight. But if Errol comes in there, he's not himself, and he looks like a Nate Robinson, I don't think like that would be hard to give him credit for that. Like, know what Errol went through, and to see to like the name alone, you took the fight. It wasn't you got Errol decided to step in the ring. Even if he wasn't his regular self again, or he wasn't 100%, the fight happened, and you still get credit for beating the man. But for me personally, I couldn't give, if it was a fight, if it played out like that, I couldn't give it credit. But if it's a wonderful match, they both fight their best, Danny wins by decision, by knockout, whatever, he gets credit for that. That's like there's no way around it, Same way the other way around. So, and if Earl beat Danny, they'll give him everything. They'll be like, you just beat a phenomenal opponent. You just came. He'll get all the praise, all the glory. So why not do the same for Danny? So that's my.
It's always going to be set up for a lose for Danny. If he win this, they're going to be like, oh, it's because Earl came off a car crash. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's why I didn't want this fight to happen when we did this episode. If y'all could please go check out the episodes we did a couple months ago when we talked about this fight. I was like, I didn't want this fight to happen because they're not going to give Danny the credit. Put somebody in there first, like the Riverside Rocky or Josito Lopez or somebody in there first. You know what I'm saying? Then put Danny in there so he can get the credit that he's deserved. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Big Mo.
Yeah, I feel like at all the time that passed, I'm saying, man, what accident? He took the fight. They put him in there. Listen, I said it with Wilder, and I'm a Wilder fan. I said it, right? He got walked from round one. You did. Caden said, when did you know he lost? I said, man, after the first round. So there's no excuses, man. Listen, he's in there. They put him in there. Like I said with Nate Robinson, they knew last week he shouldn't have been in there. So sparring and things of that nature, they know Earl's ready. They feel like he's ready. So if he lose, he lose, man. There's no excuses now. I mean, this is
Jamal's over there punching him in the face.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's taking sparring and he's out there putting it out there. He want the best. He want to be the best. So it's time. There it is. It's time to go, man. It's go time right now. I give Danny all the props if he win the fight.
Yeah, does he deserve credit if he wins? Yes. Will he get it? No. He's never gotten credit. People, I think like Trill's issue and my issue, I think, are the same. People choose what fighters they want to look at with the critical eye, right? And then when you have a fighter you like on the left and a fighter you dislike on the right, and they both commit the same act, you're only critical on the fighter of the right, but you make an excuse for the fighter on the left, and you don't hold that fighter to the same standard. For me, an objective standard is an objective standard, right? So you can't pick and choose. You can't discredit, what Danny has done or downplay Danny's wins, but big up someone else's wins when they fight someone after Danny did it and Danny did it better, right? And so for me, it's just when I look at Danny Garcia, I see a guy who's taking on the biggest challenges. Like, he's fought Sean Porter, he's fought Keith Thurman, and now he's fighting Errol Spence. You can say, oh, he's lost at welterweight, but you're not telling a whole story. See, what you're doing is you're saying he's lost. You're leaving out the fact that there are a number of people who felt like Danny Garcia beat Sean Porter, and those are credible sources. A lot of people cite Teddy Atlas, for example, when he supports their theory. Teddy Atlas said, "I think Danny Garcia won. This is professional boxing. He landed the clean, effective punches, 42% of his power shots. What more do you want from a guy? If that doesn't win you the fight, then what does, right?" This Teddy Atlas. You have people like me who believe, for me, the Sean Porter fight isn't. For me, the Herrera fight, Herrera should have got the decision before Sean Porter got it, in my opinion. And then you have Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman, to me, I think Danny squeaked it out, but at best you can make a draw. And then that was a split decision. So people acting like Danny moved up to welterweight and got destroyed and got washed. At welterweight, he's been competitive in every fight he's ever been in. And he's been in with the top welterweights in the division. And he's going in with the big fish. Regardless of who you think's the best, there's a guy fighting on his third consecutive pay-per-view who has 2 prior pay-per-views that did well. There's a guy who's unified champion at 147. And to me, unified, best pay-per-view numbers, you're the big fish. That's objective. Not my opinion, not who I like better. I'm just being objective. I'm using objective standards. That would make you the big fish in the heavyweight division. That would make you the big fish in the cruiserweight division. Any division, I use that same standard to make you the big fish. Errol Spence is the big fish. Danny Garcia beats the big fish. He deserves credit. But what we all know, because we've all seen it throughout his career, it doesn't matter what Danny does, because they don't like him for some reason that is beyond boxing, he's never going to get the credit regardless of who he beats.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. And check us out on Twitter and Instagram. Please, check us all out on Instagram. And check out our podcast on wherever music or podcasts are streamed. We are there. We are the Boxing Bros.
We could have been flawless, flying up to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.